I'm stuck on I'm stuck on
Hello, everybody. So we are here today to introduce a new FPV pilot. Right before we get into that, I just want to explain this person next to me. This is Rachel, my fiance, soon-to-be wife this coming Wednesday. So super excited for that.
We're excited.
Yep. So do you want to introduce our new guy? And then we're going to add him to the live stream here. And then we're going to add Seth, too. You guys already met Seth. So.
All right. We're adding Rupert. He's a FPV pilot in the same location as we are.
Yep.
I don't know if you told him our location or not.
No. We'll cover that, too, when we talk to him.
Sounds good.
That sounds good. Alrighty. Without anything else to say, I guess we'll add these guys. Alrighty. Hi, everybody. Everybody in?
Hey, what's going on?
Yep. How's it going? I'm going to rearrange us. You look a little silly. Oh, gosh. I don't want to be the center of attention there. Hold on. I don't think I can change that.
I don't think so. You're good.
Yeah. We'll leave it. So, how's it going?
Good.
So, what's that?
Said thanks for having me.
Oh, yeah, of course. So, I reached out to you not like a week ago even to add you to our Blade Outlaw thing. For those that didn't listen or that just don't know, I've been doing that Blade Outlaw thing for 6 or 7 years alone. And just, with doing that, like I didn't really know that there's people around me flying, I guess you could say. And I just felt like the lone wolf flying around in the local area, and there was only like other drone pilots around that weren't actually FPV pilots. Well, when I reached out to you, I saw some of your videos, and I was like, oh, he looks like he's from Wisconsin. We should add him to the Blade Outlaw thing. And I messaged you. We were talking for a little while, and I told you I was buying you a shirt, and you sent me your address, and your address said Appleton in it. And I'm like, no way, Appleton. I live in Appleton. Mm-hmm. And so we're talking about that, and I was watching more of your videos, and like you've actually flown in spots that I flew in like all the time. Like, I mean, we probably just missed each other half the time.
Yeah, small world, so, right?
Yeah,
I know. I've been out here flying for about 1.5 years now, and I've actually felt the same way. Like, man, where's the other pilots at? Are there any other FPV pilots in this area? Met one other guy from Green Bay, but no real serious flyers, though. Guys that were really trying to get into it. So,
yeah, and that's how it is. Is like, I mean, back in the day when I first started, there was like Shotgun FPV I used to fly with, Sean Dolan, a couple other guys that don't even do it anymore.
Actually, Shotgun's getting back into it right now.
I saw him
back up.
Yeah, I saw him posting again. I was like, oh, no way. I tried to add him on Facebook, but he didn't say anything. I don't know if he remembers me, but we definitely flew together back in the day. And like we did multi-GP events and stuff like that at Macville Quarry. But But yeah, it
Nice.
was like the good times, and just after a while, when like we're not going to get into the topics of it, but just when rules started cracking down on things, like
Mm-hmm.
everybody just kind of and split off,
Mm-hmm.
and so we just haven't found a community for it at all. I even talk to Sean once in a while and see if he wants to fly, and he just kind of flies on his own, But
Right. Right.
so it's cool to like the idea, I guess, is to add more people to the community locally, I guess, and not only doing that with the Blade Outlaw channel, but then just kind of reaching out a little bit further and just saying like, hey, it's okay to meet up and fly together once in a while. Like, everybody
Right.
doesn't have to worry. But
It gets boring flying alone, Once it's fun once in a while, but after a certain period of time, it's a lot better to fly with people. I feel like I get a lot better when I fly with people. It pushes myself
yeah,
to do better and do crazier stuff. So, you know.
yeah, definitely. How long have you been flying for again?
So I've been doing FPV for about 3.5 years, and I've been flying drones for about 5 years. I started with the Mini 2, the DJI Mini 2, and it all started off with a work project. Actually, we were gonna get me and another guy were managers at a landscape company down in Madison, and our idea was to get a drone and take it out to our properties and do 1-2 minute videos of the properties, showing areas that the guys constantly miss. Over doing like a GPS overhead map, basically. And then we were going to do an app that we were able to send it to all the crew leaders' phones so they could watch these videos when they go to the property and just have a better knowledge of it, basically. So we started to do that, and I started to fly this drone around, and I'm like, man, this is fun. I really like doing this. Started editing, and I'm like, I'm not great at this, but it's okay, and so it just kind of progressed from there. And then I seen a Rotorite video, one of the older ones with Mr. Steele. And I'm like, man, FPV looks really cool. So I went to my local shop, actually. And the guy there, the one who was kind of hooking me up with my Mini 2 parts, he happened to have a DJI combo kit, FPV combo kit for sale for it's like $650 at the time. And I think they were selling for like $1,200 at the time. So it was a good deal. I scooped it up. And I think I tried manual mode like my second week with that thing, and I crashed into a pine tree and broke 2 arms immediately and the gimbal, I think. And then I took it to my buddy and had him fix it. I think I paid like $400 for him to fix it, and I was like really careful with it for like the next 2 weeks. Well, then I moved up here to Appleton, actually, and it was like a week after I moved up here. I was flying around at Memorial Park over there in the soccer field, and I crashed into the soccer field and broke my arms again, and was like, this sucks, because I did not have money to fix it then. So then I started watching a bunch of Joshua Bardwell videos, and I downloaded a bunch of simulators, and I just did that for about 9 months. I didn't know anybody up here, so I was just kind of focused on FPV. Studying all the newest stuff, learning how to fly, just learning everything I could about it, basically, because I was addicted.
Oh yeah.
And then I got my first carbon fiber drone. It was iFlight. I was flying iFlight there for the longest time. I met a tech online for iFlight, and he was hooking me up dirt cheap. My buddy Pat, shout out to Pat Briers. So he sold me this iFlight Nazgul for like $200. It was an analog one, and so it was a pretty good price on it. It was brand new too. I got it. I immediately ripped off the side plates and all the LEDs because I'm like, fuck all this weight. Oh, excuse me. You know what I mean? I'm like, screw all this weight. So I ripped all that out, and I flew that for about 2 weeks and was like, analog sucks. And I ripped the analog board out and the camera, and I bought a Vista, and I put a Vista in it. And that was kind of my first build, first time soldering. So I did all that. I got it to work the first time, no smoke. And that's what I flew for like a couple months there. I bashed that thing around. And then I ended up selling my motorcycle, actually, because I had nobody to ride with up here. So I had a Harley Davidson. I sold that, and I stuck all that money basically into drones and just went all and that's kind of where I'm at now. So I've been seriously getting into it for like the past year, paying people to do my logo and trying to find editors and stuff like that. So
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that we were able to help you with the editing thing. Rachel does a lot
Good
of the
job.
editing, and she
I really appreciate that.
yeah. She was even watching some of your videos, and she has ideas of how she's going to edit and everything because she does it to personality a little bit too.
Mhm.
Awesome.
So
Awesome.
yeah, it'll be cool. So we'll talk more about that, off air. But there's some good ideas that we have.
Nice. Yeah, I
We
mean,
got.
oh yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say really quick, not to interrupt you.
No,
We
no,
got
no.
Seth. I don't want Seth to be like the lone wolf in this, but Seth has like some live videos of him doing the simulator a little bit that we might post a little bit on. We're gonna have our own playlist for Seth because Seth is just getting into it. So we're gonna watch his progression on the channel of like getting better and better at flying. So it'll be
Awesome.
pretty cool. But
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
that's a great idea.
when my taxes come in, I plan on getting that baby ape that we talked about.
Yep.
Nice.
Baby.
Nice. I think you'll like them. Those are fun.
Yeah, I have one. You have a
3.5?
baby? Yeah, it's a 3.5, I think.
No, I don't have a baby.
It's a
but
3-inch.
3
It's a
inch.
3-inch. Yeah.
You'll still have fun with it, man. The 3-inch,
Oh,
the
yeah.
3.5 inch are a blast, dude.
Yeah,
So,
if you're running 3-cell on a 3.5 or a 3, it rips like a 5-inch. You
Mhm.
forget, like the first time I flew the baby ape, and Rachel was even here, I was like, man, this thing feels like my 5-inch. Like it's when you take off and everything, you forget that it's so small, and then when you land and look at it again, I'm like, oh my gosh, that thing's tiny.
mhm.
But that's again, I don't know if that's like the old man in me saying like, back when we were, the old FPV man. But like, just when you had smaller drones, they flew terribly. I mean, Tiny Whoops flew like crap back in the day, and now they fly like a Ferrari compared to what they used to be.
Some of them, yeah.
Some of them, dude. I have the Beta FPV Meteor 65, and it's
You were
been
tearing
good.
it up in that video the other day, man, that
Thanks,
I saw
yeah.
on YouTube. Yeah.
Dude, I can't even believe that this will acro like that a little bit. And this is my first time kind of trying to acro a whoop, and there's some quirks to it, right? Because like it's a ducted fan and it has like prop wash and everything.
You
But-
couldn't really notice it though. I mean, you were flowing in it. Like it was super flowy what you were doing with it. It almost reminded
Thanks.
me of some of my lines with a 5-inch.
Yeah,
Like, how is he doing that with that little
and outside in like 5-mile-an-hour winds with something that weighs 20 grams,
Right.
But I don't know. It impresses me, and like this thing is bone stock. Besides the props, I changed.
Nice. Did you do any tuning to it or anything like that?
No, well, I upped the rates, I think, to what I normally fly, like the
Right.
PIDs a little bit,
Nothing. Oh.
but yeah, nothing like crazy with the PIDs. Like when you up your rates, if you just don't, sometimes you can up your rates too high, and it messes with the PIDs. So I just up the PIDs just a little bit, but I forget what I changed exactly on it.
What do you run for your rates? Do you run actual beta flight? What do you run?
Oh my gosh, like what? I just know the degrees. I think I'm flying like 700 right now on everything.
So do you run like that? I think that's actual rates then.
Well, I'm guessing. I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
have
when you
like
go-
a throttle curve
when you-
or anything like that either.
When you go into your rates, there's a tab up top that you can choose from. You can go to beta flight, actual, KISS rates,
Jeez Louise.
race rates.
Dude, none of that stuff was around when I first started.
Yeah, so I started off with beta flight rates, and then I watched the Stinger Swarm video. He was flying actual rates, and so I moved mine over to actual rates, and I fly 700 as my max too, 650 on yaw because I like my
Yeah.
yaw a little bit slower.
Oh man, I
and
like
then-
my yaw fast so I can do like inverted yaw spins faster.
See, I like nice and slow inverted yaw spins, and I like doing tracks and stuff like that where you do an
Yeah.
inverted yaw track. Those are one of my favorites.
I watched you do that in one of your bando rips. Sick.
I have a blast doing that shit, man. Or
Yeah.
doing the inverted yaw to Matty flips, going back through stuff. It's so much fun.
Yo. Yeah, I can't do Matty flips because I don't like the camera angle you have to do them. I mean,
I
I
run
can.
like 20, 25, man, is all I run.
I have to look at mine. I don't even. I might be right there though. I might be at 25.
Yep. And then
you
I do
can't see anything when you're doing it too. Then you
Nope.
just got used to just not seeing anything. I did that a few times, and I'm like, man, I really hate not being able to like see just like a tree or something.
It's
the
pray to
last second.
Jeebus, man.
Yeah.
Let Jeebus take the wheel, and
Well, when we're out flying together, you're gonna have to egg me on to learn how to do that better because that's my weak point is Matty flips, but backwards.
We'll get you there, man. It'll get you there. I mean, I still mess them up all the time too. I smash into stuff. It's gonna happen. But that's why we
yeah.
yeah.
That's why you have 2 5-inch quads. And
I go through antennas like nobody's business.
yeah. So, what simulator do you use? I think Seth is using Liftoff right now. I use a variety of 3 different ones, one including Liftoff.
I use a variety. I pretty much have them all, honestly. So I started off with Velocidrone. I have Liftoff. I've got Tripped FPV. I've got Uncrashed. I've got Logic. What other ones?
Freerider is the one that I started off
Freerider. And then I think there's another one called it was free on Steam. It was called like Fly or I can't remember what it is, but
I know which one he's talking about.
I mainly use Logic and Uncrashed, I guess, are my 2 favorites, then Velocidrone.
Back when like I first started getting into FPV, the sims that were out back in the day, like awful. And like I always got paranoid that I would practice on a simulator that didn't handle like exactly realistic, and so then I would develop bad habits. But nowadays, like they're not perfect, but like Liftoff is pretty good compared to what I used in the past. And
I like Liftoff. It's a little floaty for my taste.
It's a little floaty. That's what I've noticed too. Like you have
I like that you can fly JB's yard though.
Yeah, I know. That's the first thing when I bought it that day. I was like, Rachel, I get to fly in Joshua Bartle's backyard. It's like, what? Who is that?
he's my favorite.
Oh, me too.
Oh, I would kill to fly his yard though, man. That'd be so much fun.
So many videos I've watched him flying around there. Just was like, oh man, I can't believe I get to do this in a sim.
Right. You know, and then I like Uncrashed because of the physics, I guess. The physics are a little bit closer. But that's FPV Logic just came out not too long ago, and that is my absolute favorite right now. My buddies just shot me some new physics to test out in that game, and so I put his physics in and then put my throttle limit in or whatever. It's the throttle something in there. I can't remember what they call it in the game. But I put it down to 3, use his physics. Dude, it's really close to what my drone feels like now. So, that's so very, cool. Very close.
Yeah, that's so good. That's such a good tool that, like, you don't really have other hobbies. Like, I have a driving simulator and everything, too. And it's like, that can go only so far. And you don't have the feeling behind the car and everything else like that exactly unless you have a $10,000 setup. And with the FPV simulators, like, you just got to plug in your controller and plug in your goggles and it's pretty realistic feeling. It's a good training tool.
Right.
How's it going with you, Seth, on the flying sim? You crashed and trapped them?
Yeah, I recently just switched over to advanced, so I actually, when I crash, it crashes and destroys the drone.
Good. Are you flying with any gyros or anything? You flying in horizon mode?
No, I'm just all whatever you want to call them are off.
Yeah, just
all the gyros.
Yeah,
full
acro. Yeah, that's what I told Seth to not get any bad habits because when you fly in like horizon mode and everything, unless you've been flying for a while, like I'll fly in horizon mode when I'm flying inside with like through like tight gates and everything. Yeah. But like if you start off in horizon mode, I feel like you just develop bad habits, you know, and you got to learn to correct the drone yourself.
I think that's what screwed me with whoops, honestly, is I started off in horizon mode and like manual or not manual or what's the other one called?
Air
sport.
Yeah. Like I started off in that with my whoops, and now whenever I try to put a whoop into acro mode, I have a hard time controlling them, honestly. Even with my weights, you know.
Yeah, and I mean I can fly in acro inside, but I can't like shoot tight gaps and everything as like recklessly, you know, and like super fast. I don't know why. It's probably mental. I bet you if I flew in acro mode more, it would like every time I flew, it would probably click. But
you know, another thing I wish I would have done right off the bat is learned how to fly line of sight. That's a big thing that you should learn right away, Seth. I can't freaking do it right now. Like even at like you see how I fly. I'm a decent pilot. I can't fly line of sight. As soon as those goggles come off, my drone's flying, like taking the hell off, man. I tried to do it with a cop in Milwaukee, actually. Me and my buddy Lamas FPV from down there. I drove down there to visit with him and fly around Milwaukee, and we got busted at one property, kicked out of there for trespassing, and they sent us to the mall. Well, another cop pulled up out the mall on us, and he was talking with us or whatever, and I made him put my goggles on, and I tried to line of sight the drone, and it just went flying and skipping across the parking lot. And the guy takes it off, and he's laughing at me. He's like, "You're really good at this." I'm like, "Dude, I'm sorry, man. If I'm wearing the I was like, I swear I'm a better pilot than that."
Yeah. What I always tell everybody is it's just like a video game. Like you're in the cockpit,
Right.
Everything
You
else.
got to have your video.
Yeah, you got to have your video. You got to have the first person view, and then everything's not reversed.
I'd like to learn how to line of sight though, just because I want to get into fixed wing eventually here.
Yeah, that's how I started. RC in general was fixed wing stuff, and like I can fly line of sight for the most part, but like people like Alex Vanover, I've heard, and I think Barbell said something about that, where he was like crashing one time, and like he had like lost video feed, and he ripped off his goggles. He was like super far away and flew it back to him line of sight, like saved the drone and flew it back to him line of sight. And I'm like, I can't, if it's more than like say 20, 30 feet away from me, I can't do it. I can't see which way it's even going.
Right.
But
I don't understand how people do that at all. I've watched a video of a guy, no goggles, take his drone, throw it up. It was a race drone, took off 120 miles an hour, then came back at it like 120 miles an hour at him, and he killed the switch and caught it. It was like, what the hell, dude?
What kind of Thor crap is that? Like,
right. Like, was that video or did you really do that?
Yeah. Jeez, that's hilarious. So,
well, what else?
Well, I guess we could talk a little bit too about like the channel. We plan on doing some flying together at some point, hopefully this summer, especially since we're so close. I mean, we live in the same state, let alone almost the same city.
Yep.
So I'm sure we can meet up.
Come up with some like creative ideas, something fun to do.
Yeah, and yeah,
I can help with that.
yeah, we can do that.
Do planning.
She's gonna have like hours of video to sort through and edit. Yelling at me.
Sorry in advance.
Okay. I'll be finding the songs and putting it together. So yeah. Good.
Seth, what are you gonna end up using for a FPV name? Are you just gonna do Seth or?
I haven't really thought of it, honestly.
No.
I kind of want to get used to flying more before I come up with some sort of.
We're gonna start posting your videos. The first thing you do when you get into FPV is you get a quad. The second thing is you come up with a YouTube name.
And then you pay someone to get you a logo, and then you learn how to fly.
Yep. Then you get your logo, and then you learn how to fly.
No, I did it the way you did it too, Seth, man. I actually didn't get my logo until like 8 months ago, something like that. So it was, 2.5 years of learning how to fly. I had my name, of course, but I just didn't have a logo for the longest time. So it was right before I went to Castle Crash. I actually paid Maddie Blunts to do my logo last year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, he did my logo.
Huh. That's cool. Small world.
Yeah. Those guys are good shit.
Yeah, that's the thing is like you go to all these events and everything too. I thought that was pretty cool. I don't have the time for that exactly, and I mean she would definitely give me the time, but I don't want to be away from the family for too long. And it's like,
I mean, we go with you to half of them.
Yeah, we went to Florida this last summer, and we went to the Rotor Riot, warehouse just as they moved, and we met Ladrid, and I was like starstruck. I'm like, holy cow!
I seen the picture you had on your Facebook. That was
he was such a laid back guy. They gave us like $150 worth of free merchandise.
Yeah.
Like,
wow,
they gave me like 7 lanyards, a bunch of shirts. What else? They gave us a bunch. Yeah.
Got an extra lanyard. I'll take one of those.
I have enough lanyards to go around.
I collect them like crazy. I've got Pyro drone, newbie drone. I've got a bot grinder one.
Nice.
I've been collecting them.
Yeah.
Those Rotor Riot ones look nice though.
Yeah. Oh, dude, with the clip and everything, they're super solid. I've had a lot of lanyards for flying, and like that's the best one.
I only buy them with the clip. So the newbie drone, the Pyro drone, and the bot grinder one all have a clip.
Yeah.
The newbie drone and the Pyro drone are pretty much the same, but the Pyro drone's a little bit more silky and a little bit more comfortable on the neck.
Yeah.
you can adjust it though, so you can bring it up or down a little bit better. The bot grinder one has a clip in here, but you can't adjust it up and down. It just hangs at one height.
Oh, I
So
see. Yeah. I had the newbie drone one. I don't even know where it is. The one with the metal clip and everything, or what is it? The gold clip.
Yep.
On it?
Yep.
Yeah.
The one that
I don't know where it
everybody has.
Yeah. Like I worked at Hobbytown in Appleton and Oshkosh, managing their stores for the longest time, and like we bought some FPV stuff for them or for the store, and
How long ago did you work there?
a year ago.
Something like that.
Like
Yeah,
the
I
one
think-
here in Appleton?
Yeah.
I feel like I walked in there and I spoke to you one time about FPV stuff. And
Probably. I was the only one that worked there that knew anything about it. So
Yeah, I
More than
bought a
likely.
Tiny Hawk from you. It was like the only drone you guys had in that store. And then I brought my my lipos into you one time, I think, too, to have them disposed of.
Yep, probably.
Yeah.
I
You look
apologize for not.
familiar.
Yeah, I apologize for not recognizing you. I saw so many people in a day, but but that's a whole nother story that we'll get into some other time. I'll tell you about the whole Hobbytown trip. Seth knows it, but I don't want to
Oh,
get into
yeah.
the drama.
I was trying to
But-
get them to carry drone parts for the longest time there. I kept calling them and like, hey man, I've got a hookup here that you guys can get cheap drone parts and I'll be an avid customer. And the guy's like, yeah, we'll look into that, and then never called me back. So
Yeah, there was managers that underneath me that like weren't doing too well with that, but also with the drone stuff, the reason why we didn't keep it in there is, for one, like the technology of it changed so fast. By the time we got something in, it was like out of date.
Yeah.
And like two, like the companies wouldn't give us enough leeway to make margin on it. We learned pretty quick that that the Hobbytown franchise takes a huge percentage out of what you make. And so that was like we had to make crazy margin on stuff just to get ahead, and even that crazy margin wasn't, come to find out, a lot of money in profit
I mean,
anyway.
you don't have enough pilots in the area buying stuff up. I suppose it's why even waste the time and the money. I get it.
And the process behind it, and then you have dead inventory and everything. They tried. Actually, the owner of Hobbytown was hardcore into FPV. He was good friends with Alex Vanover.
Oh,
He was Alex Vanover's pit guy. So,
Nice.
Like when he would charge batteries in the background and all that stuff. I'm sure you know the name. The guy's way too big to not know Alex, but
I know. Yeah, I know Captain Vanover. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I met him before. He used to work at Hobbytown
That's cool.
briefly, just as a side, thing. But his family was pretty close to the owner's family, so it was kind of cool. Kind of cool to meet him that way.
Nice.
Yeah.
You said you were you used to do multi GPs with shotgun back in the day, so you know racing then? Kind of.
Man, briefly. Like I did it for a month, to be honest with you, and I learned pretty quick that I don't like racing. And
Well, I'm getting into it right now, actually. So my friend Flyaway FPV, she's actually making me a race drone right now. We're doing a trade. I'm going to trade her my 7-inch, my Cinelifter, for a race drone and possibly a pair of HD0 goggles.
nice.
Yeah, because she said HD0 is just the best way to go with that. So
Yeah.
I've been wanting to get into it for a while, though. It just seems like the way to go if you want to get sponsorships quick in this industry is just race. Seems
Well-
like not even some good people are getting there. But
Yeah,
you know.
and that's the thing nowadays. Is I mean, I started off this to go backtrack a little bit. I started off this YouTube channel just to kind of like share the videos that I made with FPV, not really expecting a lot of views or anything out of it, and just keep like the memories. And nowadays, looking at people's videos, like it's so competitive that like every FPV pilot is trying to be a Mr. Steele.
Yeah.
And like
No
everybody's
one's-
trying to make it, so it's their living and everything. And it's like, I'm not trying to do that. Obviously, it would be cool to make money someday, so you could, support a little bit of the hobby. But I don't know.
So it's doable, not in that aspect, but like I've been picking up jobs actually, like work with my drones, for instance. I don't think I'll ever be a YouTube star or anything like that, like Mr. Steele, but I think there is ways to make money with drones, other ways besides being a YouTube star.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Racing is a good way to get in and just get your name out there, meet a lot of people in the community. That's why I go to the events too, is just to get connections within the FPV community. And I met a lot of people at Castle Crash, like really good people that have helped me a lot this past year.
Yeah.
Which is why I want to continue to go to these events, that continue to meet these people, these awesome people, picking up a sponsorship here and there would be nice. Like I said, Not only for free stuff, but it seems that you almost get more viewership that way too. You start your video off with a sponsor, people tend to stay around a little bit more than not.
Yeah, I mean a
So,
little bit, but also like people call you sellout and all that other stuff too, and I don't know.
depends the
Like,
sponsorship, like you start off with like an HQ or something like within the hobby. Yeah, you're promoting like things without the hobby. I'd say you're a sellout, but
yeah,
well, unless if you're sponsored by MEPS or something like that too, that's hurting the community.
I was gonna say, which depends on the sponsorship though too,
Yeah,
because like Meps
yeah,
is just a joke. I'm
yeah,
not gonna
yeah,
get
they
into
are.
drama.
We
Oh,
new pilots beware.
yeah, no F, like
Yeah. If
no
you get
offense.
that email, just throw it in the trash. It's not
Yeah, that's
worth it.
did I ever tell you about that company? They're a motor company for drones. They set out contracts, and I think someone emailed me, and
Yeah.
then I think did you get a Facebook message or how did because they messaged you on Facebook too? I
They
heard.
they emailed me, they sent me a message on Facebook, and they sent me a message on Instagram, and it was all basically saying that they had this project going on, that they wanted me to make vlogs reviewing their products or whatever, and I would send my videos to them. They would approve my videos or change them if they wanted to, and I
Completely,
would get
Change
yeah,
them?
yep,
completely control your YouTube channel.
and
Like
all I
you
got.
basically sell your life away to the stupid motor
Well,
company, and like their
well,
motors
no,
aren't even that
so
good.
they do more than motors. They actually sell everything now. They have stacks, they have motors,
They do.
they have everything now. The issue is everything is still garbage.
Yeah,
The motors are garbage, and all they offered me was 4 motors. That was it. 4 motors
to
for
sell your YouTube channel away.
all of these vlogs. Yep, yep. And I found out from my buddy who owns an FPV store, Fly High FPV, that motors are dirt cheap. Actually, these companies make these motors for like 5 cents a piece, basically.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And yeah, so you like when companies offer you motors for a sponsorship, like it's
It
not worth it.
no, it costs
Doing
them a
work for free.
postage stamp, and that's one of the things. I don't know. It's not worth it to sign your life away for that kind of stuff.
Nope,
So
nope. Unless you're just gonna tarnish your name with them. So
yeah. Even like with Beta FPV, they like have a super light beginner sponsorship with me with affiliate links. Like I don't
Mhm.
even really like doing that because I'm not gonna post an affiliate link to something that I don't like or don't even fly. I mean, I posted the ones that I have, like the
Like the
Pavo
Pavo
Pico
Pico.
and the
Mhm.
what is the Meteor, and then what was the other one? This the one that Seth is using. What is that? The Citrus?
Oh,
Oh,
I don't even
the
know.
weird name one.
The
The
Yeah,
Cetus.
Cetus.
So
Yeah.
I personally have never had good luck with Beta FPV.
Oh
I
yeah.
like I know they have good stuff like the Pavo Pico. I've heard great things about that drone. I bought what was it? It was like the Pico. I don't even think they make it anymore. Um,
I couldn't tell you. They
it's like
made a
it
lot of
was a little
different.
Cinelifter basically,
Yeah.
and like a 3-inch Cinelifter, and I bought 3 of them actually. So the first one came, the flight controller was fried. The second one came, the ESC was fried. The third one
Jeez, really?
came, the VTX was fried. Yeah, and so I just got my money back and was like, nah, I'm good.
I,
So
I, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that you just got a bad mix of stuff because I started with Beta FPV back in the day when I was into like brushed, tiny whoops, like way
mhm.
way back when, and they had do a wheelie. Someone just commented on our live video, do a wheelie. I don't know what that is.
Oh, it's
That's
Waldo. Hey, what's up, Waldo? How
I
you
love
doing,
it.
brother?
Rachel has pointed it out to me. Oh my
I
gosh.
have it going so I can see the chat and everything.
Yeah.
yeah, I saw that a little bit ago. I'm like, oh, funny.
Completely threw me off. Oh my goodness.
Right?
No, I don't care. It's just hilarious.
I thought it was funny.
So
It
he
is.
was at Castle Crash with me actually, and he did this Thursday throwdown challenges on Instagram that were pretty cool, and I did a power loop challenge for him.
Oh, nice.
Ah, there he goes. What's up, brother?
I see it.
That's hilarious. I'm glad that you have that on there so we can see it.
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Do we want to jump to the video?
So
Shortly. So the Beta FPV thing, what I was saying is that they've been a while, like they've been in business for a while. We had brushed motors by them. They worked really good. I had brushed, the frames for tiny frames that took the brushed motors. And like
mhm.
they were super strong compared to what was out there nowadays. or back then. And I mean, it wasn't until this year that I started buying Beta FPV stuff again, and I have 3 drones from them, and I've never had any like major issues. I had one camera go out on the Meteor like last week, I
Yeah.
think it was,
Mhm.
and like I emailed them about it. I was like, hey, this drone's like a little past. It was like 25 days past warranty,
Mhm.
and I'm like, hey, this is past warranty. The camera gave out on me. I think it's fried out. Like I tested this. I've been doing this for 7 years. Like I have OSD, but not the video. And I just told them, and they were like, "Oh, send us a picture of their receipt or whatever." And I sent them that, and they're like, "Okay, we're sending you a new camera right now." I'm like, "Oh, cool." 2 days went by, and the camera was here, and like not even kidding you, on in front of the door, this box that's like this big, thinking it's like an RC car or something in it, is this little freaking camera
Little tiny
from
camera in
Beta.
there.
Yeah, so like they next day shipped that dang thing right away and got me the camera. Like they were super fast about it. I'm like, "Holy crap, that's awesome."
Well, and like I said, I seen you flying your Meteor 65 in that video you just posted not too long ago, and that looks smooth as hell. So, I mean, I can see they obviously have good products out. Maybe I just got shafted with the one
Dude,
that I
I'm
don't
just-
know.
Are you buying it direct from Beta FPV? Is the other question.
No, I think I bought it from Pyro Drone or something like that, or
Don't do
through.
that.
I might even didn't get FPV. I don't know. I've had a
Buy-
lot of bad experiences with them in the past. I just
Buy
don't
it.
purchase from them.
Buy it direct if you're gonna ever get anything from Beta FPV again, because they
Well,
they
and-
warranty stuff faster, and you're probably gonna get a better.
The drone that I bought, like I said, I'm pretty sure they discontinued it. I don't even see it for sale anymore. I was looking for it the other day, so it might have just been issues with that drone. So
Yeah. Jeez Louise. I don't know. Hopefully, I mean, I don't want to give you bad taste. I've heard of other people having issues with Beta FPV, but I wouldn't promote something that if I felt like was crap, And
Right,
I want to be clear about that with everybody. But
I don't have that big of an issue with them. Like I've never heard super bad things about Beta FPV. Like like we can keep going back to maps. They just have a tarnished name in the community. You bring them up to anybody, and they're going to be like, "Puh,"
one thing is that, I mean, I don't know what prices Meps has their stuff at. I mean, I think some of their motors are kind of expensive, but like the thing that really messed them up is that contract that they sent out to everybody for their sponsorship. Like that obviously made them a little more famous because everybody's talking about them, but they're also all shitting on them,
Right,
So,
right.
I don't
It's
know.
not the right
No.
The only reason why people go into their lives is to stare at their cute Asian women that sit there on camera and giggle. You can like understand half of the words that they say.
Probably not even women when you come to find out.
For real.
Yikes.
I say that on here, I'm gonna get in trouble by YouTube people.
Perfect.
We'll keep it PG. We all know what you're saying, though.
So I wanted to share one of your videos, and it's one of my favorite rips that I've seen of you, your industrial one. So I'm gonna add that into here. Let's see here. We'll keep
You know
this
what's
down below.
super funny too is I was flying with an upside down prop in this video.
Nah.
No, for real. For real. I'm like, my drone sounds super weird. What's going on? I was in a huge hurry because the sun was going down. So I was like, frick it. I'll just rip it anyway. And I started to go with it. And yeah, dude, the prop was totally upside down when it came back. I guess it turned out all right still.
That's hilarious. So I was gonna ask you before I play this. Do you know if this is copyright?
Sorry, Josh.
What?
My brother.
Oh.
The rave is giving me seizures.
We have ours going too behind us, but you just can't see it. Oh, you can kind of see it at the corner now. Do you have copyright music on this video? Because I can play it without. I just want to play it with copyright.
I might.
Yeah, I'll just play it without sound, and we can commentary it, or you can.
All right.
So let me get it here. Because sometimes copyright flags stuff on YouTube like crazy. Dude, I love. Like, we were talking about color and everything like that. And I don't think your color is that bad. But, like,
this video, I used a weird filter, though. Do you see in the ground? It looks like...
Yeah.
Like, weird. I didn't like the way I edited this video, actually, at all.
Man, and that's unfortunate. And this is kind of playing slow on our end. I don't know if it's playing slow live. What does it look like? Oh, it's not that.
Yeah,
it's
it
just
is.
yeah, it's a little bit. But, like, I guess what I want to comment is that like you have a good like eye for like the next thing, the next trick, the next area to fly, and it's one of the things I like. And I even struggle with it sometimes. I have to fly a couple packs before I start tying into other tricks and stuff like that. And
Right.
you do it pretty good.
Yeah.
You have a certain floatiness to it as well that it just I like. I like how you have something else, a different style to bring to this.
So I guess like my biggest influencers are like probably the guys from Rotor right now. You know, like I watched a lot of Drib when I started, and I do like watching Bubby still. And I like their style. I like the floaty flow style.
Yeah,
You know, I would like to get into Spang eventually someday and add a little bit of Spang into my flow. I think that would look really cool as well.
yeah,
But for now, I like to like I'm on a roller coaster basically and just going.
yep.
No sharp
Just
twitchy
cruising.
moves really. Just go with it.
And
You know.
man, when I was flying with a group of guys when we go out and fly parking lots at night and everything, I was the Mr. Steel. Everybody called me Steel or whatever, and like I forgot what the actual nickname, but it had Steel in it because I'm like that fast, like twitchy, like fast flips and everything like that. That's kind of style he had back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm digging the flowiness still now. Like before, I think the past me would have said this was like boring for a little bit, but you're good at tying like floatiness and then actual like showing your skill of doing an inverted yaw spin and then diving right back through the power loop, and it's just it's cool. I love it.
I appreciate that, man. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. A lot of practice, a lot of time, I guess. You know.
Oh, dude, yeah. It's sim time. It's that sim time.
Working on it.
I know.
The simulator does help, man. It really does. It
Oh
does.
yeah.
You know, like the new ones, they're getting so close to actual real feel. You know, maybe you have to tweak the physics a little bit in the game, but it transfers over now. It really does. So,
Yep.
you know, if I want to learn a sketchy, tricky move, I'm definitely going to take it to the sim first and not mess my quads up as much. I'm going to learn it in the sim, and then I'm going to take it out and you know, it's still going to take me a few tries to get that move down because it's still a little different, but I'm a lot closer than if I didn't hit that sim first. So,
Oh yeah. Yeah. But,
Yeah, while we were talking about the simulators before, I was opened up Steam and added FPV Logic to my cart, so I remembered to get it later.
FPV Logic. Oh, that's the one that we were talking about.
yeah, I definitely recommend that one. It's got some cool levels in it. It's got some, there's a couple factory levels that I really like to play. It's got like a mix of bando, factory, industrial type. So this weekend, I'm actually heading down to my brother's. He's the guy who commented, Josh. He's got an industrial park pretty close to his place. That actually, it's that video you just played. I'm going to go back there and
nice.
fly that place
Yeah,
this
he's a-
weekend.
Yeah.
And, actually have all props are going to be on correct this time. So hopefully I can have a little bit better of a flight video for you.
Dude, I can't believe that you had a prop upside on and it still flew like that. That's
Mhm.
crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a 3D prop, right? It's not one of those ones that you can fly inverted and like,
Nope.
they don't have a full reflective.
Nope. Just your normal HQ J40s, man. Your juicy J40s is what I love.
You're gonna have to
And
let
if
me
I
try
wanna
one of
see-
those sometime.
Oh, absolutely.
swear by
I've
them
got
so
like
much.
40 packs of them. And
Yeah.
then
I
if I wanna
you
slow
thought I
down-
had a lot of props.
I go a little crazy on the props. Well, and then I've got a friend who's been hooking me up once in a while. She'll send me props if I order stuff from her. And
Oh,
Um,
nice.
yeah, she's a rep for HQ. Soon to be not though. So,
Oh,
but yeah, if I want to slow down, I'll pop on a pair of mangoes. Like that's my other favorite are the mangoes, the ethics.
Ethics mangoes. I used to use this watermelon, was it?
Yep, the watermelons. Yep.
Yeah, I used to
I
rip
used to
those
fly-
watermelons all the time.
I used to fly the PB and J's before I found the J4.
Rachel's getting hungry because we're sitting here talking about all this food.
Hey.
Mr. Steele and your food names.
I know, dude. Mr. Steele. That's hilarious, though.
I
Yeah.
didn't know they had those names for them. Sorry.
Dude, they name FPV stuff just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
What was
Mhm.
Racecraft had like these prop names. What were they? They were some weird. They were the ones that were like really aggressive pitch. They'd come with like a chrome sticker of some dude's face. Like it was so weird. Remember those stickers? Remember seeing those stickers before? I think I stuck one on your car or something.
Not on my car.
I don't know. He was like,
Fuck
I
you,
did it to my.
Josh.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But,
My brother's talking shit in the comments.
oh, there you go.
Oh my.
But so I guess on top of that, so we plan on meeting up in the summer at some point. We'll get Seth to pop his 5-inch cherry at some point. Hopefully this summer. Fly something real for once.
Have you never flown a 5-inch stuff?
No.
Only thing, the biggest drone I've flown was my Maverick Mini SE.
That's not a drone. That's just a freaking.
It's not a drone.
Self-flying. That's not an FPV drone.
I've got a Nazgul frame, or either a Nazgul or an XL5 that I can hook you up with. That I don't fly anymore. It just sits around, and I might even have an analog board, the one that I ripped out of the Nazgul a long time ago. You can just have that stuff, man. So,
dude,
all right,
that would get you set up.
That'd help me out.
Do you have a GoPro, Seth? I'm not gonna buy you a GoPro. I'll buy you guys shirts. I'm not gonna buy you GoPros if you explode the video.
I might be coming up on one.
I've got an
my
old
buddy was
GoPro
asking
too,
me.
actually.
Right.
If I can find it, I have an
have-
old GoPro like Hero 3 or Hero 4. You can just have that too. Somebody sent it to me.
1080p, then
Alright.
do like a do like 30 or 40 FPS stuff. Because those
Okay.
Hero 3s kind of suck on color. You have to slow down the FPS to get some better color. But
yeah, my buddy texted me the other day. He was like, "You still got that?" Because I was thinking about getting rid of my DJI, and he was like, "Still got that? I'll give you my GoPro for." I'm like, I might need that.
yeah,
And I think he's got like the Hero 4 or 5.
Session 5.
One of them. I don't remember which one it was.
It was a pretty popular camera back when. I still got a couple buddies that still fly that Session 5. So it was a nice little square camera.
Those square, dude. I mean, RunCam got sued by all that because they made a camera like that by GoPro, and now that they stopped making the Session, RunCam has like the square camera again. I thought about getting one, but man, I've had so many GoPros in my life. It's unreal. Like I've blown up so effing many of them.
Are you talking about the orange cam?
Yeah. Yep, the
orange one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I never tried that one. I bought the Caddx Walnut. I would recommend staying away from that camera. It sucks. It lasted for like a month, and then it wouldn't charge or turn on after that. And then I have the Action 2. I'm about to come out with a review this weekend on that on my vlog. And that camera sucks, man. Don't go with that camera either. That's a huge waste of money. If anything, it's going to turn into my vlog camera, and that's it.
Yeah.
Battery life sucks. No storage space. My vlog was supposed to come out on Sunday about it, the review, and the whole reason it didn't is because I ran out of storage space and none of my flight videos recorded. So I have to re-record those this weekend. And then the other thing is, if you crack that lens, I just found this out from my buddy Dave. If you crack the lens, they won't replace it. So
that's a joke.
It's another big issue. So,
and that, I mean, when you're in FPV, that's a make or break situation, because like you break lenses all the time. There's a while where I was replacing lenses on the GoPro 3s and it worked out, but then like my last 3 hit a stop sign going like Mach 2, and I pushed the lens all the way through the board on it because like the camera was the first thing to hit, because the way you're angled, and like holy crap, I don't know, I was so sick of blowing up GoPros in my days.
Lens protectors come in clutch nowadays for sure, man. When you build that into your mounts or have that built into your mounts. So I can't tell you how many camera butter filters I've gone through. So I actually need a new set before springtime comes up here.
There we go. I gotta buy a bunch of 4S packs for the 5-inch. I fried out all those.
What do you fly mainly? What's your frame?
Still the Johnny 220 right now. I mean,
the Johnny 220.
Yeah, I have 2 of them. Each one is built a little different, but
nice.
They work out. I mean, it's a cheap quad. I mean, but when I watch reviews of like people flying it, they're like, Bardwell even said like, oh, this thing has a flight controller on it that's from like the early 2000s. I'm like, oh, perfect, right up my alley. Like I don't need any bells and whistles. I don't need crazy accelerometers. I turn all that stuff off when I fly.
Right.
I don't think I have any accelerometer or anything on. And
No, I try to turn that off too. So
yeah,
I mean, you don't need it. I don't install the GPSs, none of the beepers, none of that. I mean, there's a beeper built into it already if I want to turn that on. So
yeah.
with the motors. Are you a Unibell guy or do you
Unibell?
care? Yeah, do you care? Split bell, Unibell?
You're saying Unibell? Oh, explain Unibell again, so I understand.
Motors.
Yeah, I understand that they're motors, but like the bell being in with the stator, like the
So like one piece bell or a split piece bell where they glue them together, basically, or do you even care? Does
oh,
it matter?
I don't even care. I don't
You
care.
don't care.
I
Yeah,
haven't
some
had
people care,
preference.
some people don't.
Yeah, I would say like my 5-inch stuff. I haven't flown. I mean, I've flown like a lot in the summer and everything like that, but like I just during the winter I fly a lot of tiny whip stuff, just small indoor stuff, you know.
Right on.
And my 5-inch is just pretty bare bone, but it's good enough for what I do with it. Just carry GoPro and fly a little freestyle.
Freestyle, yeah.
So I don't know. I haven't had the glory of like flying with other people and like quote unquote driving that Ferrari. I'm sure when if I ever fly your quad or someone else's that is not a $220 freaking 5-inch, I'm gonna be like, oh my god, what am I doing? Why am I flying this junk? And I'm gonna switch my stuff up, but I
There's a
don't know.
difference.
Like
there's a difference.
I guarantee there's a difference. Yeah.
So I flew the DJI FPV drone this past weekend for the
that.
first time since I started. There's a guy here in Appleton that's selling a combo kit for $650 actually, and I was like,
oh,
for the nostalgia factor and just to get another pair of goggles, so maybe my nephew can watch me fly until I sell my DJI stuff. And I know that controller is always in that radio is always in. People are always looking for that radio, so you can sell it easy.
Mm-hmm.
But he let me fly it around, and that thing flies like shit, dude. I'm like, maybe now that I'm a better pilot, it'll fly better. No, dude, I almost lost control of that drone and crashed it. And I was like, I landed it real quick. I gave it back to him. I'm like, nah, I think I'm good on this. I don't want to buy this. But when I switched from the Nazgul, because I told you I bought that Nazgul right after that was one of my first carbon fibers. When I switched from drones like that, and I bought my first AOS 5, I felt the difference, man. Because it's a lot lighter of a frame, a lot lighter of a drone. The way it cornered, the way it just handled it, controlled, it was so much better, dude.
So sharp,
and the way you can tune it as well. So,
yeah, I mean, you don't have to fly an expensive quad to know the FPV 5 inches just way too much weight. I mean, that's I think the biggest part of it. One of the other things, and this is again maybe because I'm so old school about this, but the camera's on a gimbal, right? And there's some dampening in that, and then there's actually some stabilization software already in the camera that you can turn on. And that
in the O3 and stuff, right?
Well, no, not just in the O3, but in the DJI FPV. I'm saying, like the quad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know.
They have image stabilization, yeah, with the gimbal and everything on it. And when you're flying freestyle, I'm used to that little bit of feel, I guess I call it in the quad, where you can see that's a little shaky. You can see what's going on when you're diving through something. The camera doesn't float, I guess you could say. When I was flying the FPV quad, or the DJI FPV, I just felt so detached from the drone. It doesn't feel like a second, out of body experience. It just feels like I'm playing a video game that has a lot of latency.
So that's exactly what happened to me too. Is I tried to do a juicy flick over a fence with it, thinking I'm like, okay, it's got enough power or whatever. As soon as I was upside down and backwards, the drone felt like it dropped like a rock out of the sky.
It dropped. Yeah, forget so inverted yaw spins. You're not doing anything with that. Yeah.
No, hell no. There's as soon as it goes upside down or something, it's like the board gets messed up or it tweaks out or something. I was so uncomfortable with it, let alone he didn't have, I think he had the normal rates in there that it comes with, which, I'm used to my rates. I do a huge curve in my rates. So
I think it comes with 450 or something like that, or 430.
Yeah, it's very twitchy, very twitch. I don't know. I like my mid stick very smooth, and I like the twitchiness out towards the ends of the stick. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I fly a huge curve.
So, Seth, have you flown the quad that I loaned you for a little bit at all?
Yeah, I have. I've
How's it going with
flown
that?
it. It's
Have you
going all
exploded
right.
yet?
I noticed. No, no. I flew it outside for the first time and then tried doing it inside and just kept hitting the wall. I'm like, all right, taking a break.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Because
me.
I
I
think for
bought
me
that
it's
drone
just
originally for her.
Mhm.
because I think my issue is like I'm too nervous to hit anything in my house. Because for one, expensive and all that fun
Like
stuff.
what?
But
The stuff in your house or the drone? Because don't worry about the drone.
the stuff in my house.
You got ducted fans.
Well, yeah,
Although
but
I did hit my effing TV recently with a tiny whoop, and I put a effing scratch in it too. So I'm like,
Ooh.
oh, we just bought that TV
exactly.
like what 4 months ago, 3 months ago,
Yeah.
and I already freaking messed it up with a tiny whoop.
And
It's
it
like
What whoop
won't
are you
get up.
flying?
just the Meteor
Oh, the Meteor.
65,
Nice.
dude. Yeah, the little one, and like I don't know how it even scratched it because these props are so like safe around this thing, but it must have been high angle and enough to flex the frame a little bit that the prop hit it. But,
So I told you I'm heading down to my brother's tonight. After this interview, I'm heading down to Madison. But I bought this for my nephew for Christmas.
that's
It's
the
the
same.
Cetus
Oh,
Pro.
it's not the Pro though because it's not brushed. It's brushed.
It said Cetus Pro when I bought it.
Man,
So I don't know.
yeah, because the one that Seth has is that, but it's brushless,
Mhm.
and it's the
Oh,
Pro
grab
version.
it.
Got it right there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Seth
Yeah, it's
got
right
it.
next to me. Yeah, this one's just brushless.
It looks like there's some new scrapes on that there, Seth. I'm just messing
I don't know what you're
It's a
talking
good
about.
thing. Flying it.
It's a nice little drone. I've noticed, like as far
Yeah.
as like for beginners, the different modes that you can go through in order to get you flying manual mode, I guess, acro mode.
Yep.
I think it's pretty cool, man. My nephew's he's a young kid. I think he'll understand it. I think he'll get it. He's pretty freaking smart for his age. I just hope he doesn't get bored of it real quick, because he doesn't pick it up right away.
Yeah.
So
That's the biggest thing is that people get frustrated about it.
frustrated.
Why are you looking at
Mhm.
me?
I don't know. I thought you were gonna throw that controller through the window when we were at Florida, but
See,
we
I
were
think that was
hovering.
my problem because I had like the Blade and I had that Emax, and the Emax was just a bitch to fly. And
Which one?
I just
Easy Pilot,
yeah.
the brushed Easy Pilot. It's kind of like a tiny whoop, but like their Easy Pilot weighs a ton, and so having brushed, motors with a pretty heavy, ducted fan, the thing
doesn't
flies.
sound fun.
No, it flies awful.
Did you ever try the Tiny Hawk 2 Freestyle? I had that one for a little bit.
I did. Seth? Did you ever fly that, or I forgot what? I thought you got a second drone, but
yeah, it was that Blade that it was like that.
Blade. He got
Yeah.
some like drone with no camera on it. That was like the Blade Inductrix from back in the day. They remastered it. And what do they call it? The Convergence or something weird where it was like it was like a hover.
Yeah, you could convert it to a hovercraft, but
Yeah.
I just bought a frame and made it a fixed drone because when you just put the drone back together, it just flew like shit. So
Yeah.
Mm.
But what was the issues when you were flying that Easy Pilot that you had?
there was like, to me, there was a giant delay in the controller.
Oh yeah.
And then when I tried to do like acro mode, it was just instantly dropped to the left, even if I had the stick centered.
Oh. To the left.
But
You could have had a motor going out. But
that's when I got it, like right away.
oh
So,
really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember that it dipping to the left like that because I flew that one a bunch of times too. In the store, we had a demo one, and I was the only one flying it and beat the heck out of the thing. But
Well, right. And it could have been just a bad one, but
yeah,
still, I just didn't care for how it flew, and I was like, yeah, I'm done.
So
And then I was like,
how much of a difference was it when you switched over from that to the Cetus? Like what
This one is awesome. I'm gonna say that.
More
I
power?
have like,
do you notice the power?
oh yeah, and I've noticed how much more control I have over it,
Yeah.
and I like that feeling, obviously. But
Well, yeah, and like I said, you game stuff, like you do gaming, so you're gonna pick up on this. You just gotta keep practicing. I
Mhm.
think. Well, what kind of controller do you fly with?
Tango 2.
Tango 2? Okay,
Yeah.
so the
And I'm
little
actually
gamer controller too,
so I've
right?
got I just bought the Boxer and I'm trying to switch over to it, but I cannot figure out how TXs work yet. So
Radio
I
Master?
was gonna go with ERLS because there's ERLS built into it. I cannot figure ERLS out to save my freaking life. So then I tried to go with Ghost. My friend gave me a Ghost TX at Castle Crash. I couldn't figure Ghost out. And now she just sent me a Crossfire TX, and I'm like, I know Crossfire. I'm like, this is gonna be easy. I still
Yeah,
can't get the freaking thing to work. So
dude, the protocol thing is kind of getting out of control. I think
yeah.
Ghost is pretty complex. I've never used Ghost. I've watched people use Ghost, and like when it first came out, I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. Like it's kind of cooler over Crossfire, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I never got into it. But then with this ELRS thing, I would say honestly, like Bardwell is what got me hooked on it. Because listening to him talk about it and like how it works and everything, I'm like, oh, I should try that. And I tell you what, it was hard to set up.
Yeah.
I got that Pablo Pico, and like that day, Rachel knows this. I was trying to bind it to my controller, and I was ready to huck the thing into the effing trash because I was
Mm-hmm.
getting so frustrated trying to bind it. And like I just composed myself. I watched Joshua Bardwell videos, and like over and over again, I'm like, oh, you have to make like a phrase name that it matches up with your ELRS device, and
Mm-hmm.
that. And then you have to update everything so they're on the same firmware. And so like I updated my Radio Master controller and the ELRS module that was in it, updated the drone, made the binding phrase like I'm not gonna say it, but it's super
Yeah.
easy, and just it all of a sudden started working. I didn't even have to hit a bind button or anything. I'm like, whoa, it was weird. And like you went on your phone to do half of this stuff. Like you would bind your phone to your drone. I'm like, what in
Yeah.
the crazy sci-fi is this? You know?
I've watched
And
my buddies do it and they make it look easy and they've tried to show me how it works. And I don't know, the one receiver I had, I ended up bricking it and I was like, screw this, I'm going back to Crossfire, just because I know it. It was super easy, at least with the Tango too, like bind up, push the bind button, you're good to go.
yeah,
Um, I like the shape of the Boxer. I'm a pincher, so like I do like the bigger controller, and I love that you can adjust the sticks in it. Like it's a lot better feel than my Tango 2, way
yeah,
better. But yeah, it's just having somebody show me how it works, I guess, and the protocols and stuff like that. So I'm a visual learner. People keep trying to explain to me over the phone and stuff, and I'm like, I don't learn this way.
you
So
gotta see it. Yeah, me too.
that's how
That's
I
why
am
Bardwell
usually.
videos are so easy.
right. Oh yeah, people tell me that too. They're like, go watch a video, and it's like, you don't think I've watched every Joshua Bardwell video?
Yeah.
Like I'm a freaking Patreon, man.
Yep.
Uh,
But
so
yeah, I don't know. I can show you sometime. I still have another Johnny 5-inch that has ELRS on it that I bought,
nice.
and I haven't even bound to it. Yeah, the thing is never powered up, and I've had it for 6 months. And I
Which
just
one?
the Johnny 5, the big one.
Oh,
Yeah, the second one. I'm
I
pointing because it's
totally
right
give
over
it
here.
another shot, man. If you could kind of
I
just break it
I'm
down to me a little bit easier,
Yeah, I'll have to do it with you in person. But the problem
Yeah.
is, dude, is like when it started working for me with the Pablo Pico, I'm like, I don't even know how I just did this. Like I just did this and got this to work, and I don't really like if I have to do it again, I'm gonna have to watch a video again.
I
I'm gonna have to
hate
try
that
to
when
click.
that happens, when it just
Yep,
magically happens and you're like,
yep,
well, it works. Sweet, I can
yeah,
fly.
yeah. But I'm
Uh,
sure I'll stumble my way through it and get it again, and then I can show you too, and we can
right,
get your crap
right.
working. I think you can even unbrick them sometime too.
It's
That
got lower latency. I know that much
oh
than
yeah,
Crossfire. So I would love to get into it. That's why I wanted to give Ghost a try because it's a lot lower latency than Crossfire and still kind of on the same range. You know what I mean?
yep,
But I know ERLS is it's open, right? So people are constantly updating it and making it better.
yep. And
So
there's Reddit to flies out there that are ELRS and everything too, and it's like
right,
that's everything's switching that way, and I love it. Like once I understand how to bind the stupid crap, I'm sure I'm gonna fall in love with the rest of it. But right
right,
now it's just so hard. It's not even that hard. It's just different, I guess you could say. You know.
right.
But Seth, I was gonna ask you, how do you hold your controller?
Like a game controller.
Exactly, that's what I thought.
Do
So
you thumb?
he must thumb. Yeah, if he's holding like a game controller, he's thumbing. So I thumb. People make fun of me for it, but I use my thumbs because I yeah, Rachel does. Yeah, but
Yeah.
you gamed a little bit too.
Yeah.
But I didn't do it because of gaming. I did it because when I first started flying RC planes, I was like, I don't know, 11 years old. I was flying a Nitro P-51 Mustang that was my dad's. We would go out to this like flying field that the guy, could fly really good, and he would take it up in the air for us and get it. A couple mistakes, I would hand the controller over to us, and we would fly it. And like I started off really young, but I always was taught to use your thumbs. And like the rest of my life, I've tried on the simulator. I can pinch a little bit on the simulator and fly, but it feels super unnatural. And now I've determined that I'm stuck for the rest of my life doing my thumbs.
And once you get used to a certain style, don't try to switch it up. You know what I mean? Because then you're
Yeah.
just gonna mess your whole flying style up. I started off thumbing, and then I was watching I told you I took that 9-month hiatus where I just watched videos and played simulator, and I noticed like Steele and all those guys were pinching.
Yeah.
And so I gave it a try in the simulator, and that whole 9 months I just pinched the entire time. And I feel like I have way more control over my sticks, and that's how I get those nice, smooth, flowy lines, is pinching and or thumbing.
That's what everybody says. That's what every single person says, is that you can fly tenfold better when you pinch. And I'm like, to be honest, I'm past that point. Like I can't break it.
It's
like
all
riding
in
a
what
bike.
you're used to. I don't think I fly any better than the guy that thumbs. It's just what I got used to in a way, Like
Yeah.
I've noticed like the guys who fly super juicy and like Spang, they all thumb and stuff. Like I think they have better control over their flips and rolls and stuff using their thumbs than I do pinching.
Yeah.
It's just how you fly and your style and like I don't have more control than the next guy. It's just what you're used to is I guess the bottom line there. You know,
definitely.
like you did a nice flowy line with that Meteor 65, man, and it looks no different than a lot of my lines. So.
Yeah. Well, hopefully I can fly decent with a 5-inch back summer again. But
I'm sure you'll be fine, man.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll be fine. I'm a little afraid too about my 5 inches. I haven't picked them up in like 2 months now.
I know, dude. I haven't done it all winter, and I mean I've been flying still, but it's just once you grab that thing, it's like driving a Miata versus a Ferrari, and it's like you have to get used to it.
I've been flying my 3.5 inch and my 3-inch for like the past 2 months, because I have been without a mount or like I was flying the Hero 11 Mini there for the longest time. And I ended up going through like 6 of those cameras because of the defects in them. And so I finally just upgraded to the 12 like 2 weeks ago. And so, like I said, I'm waiting on mounts for those to get printed. But so I've been without camera, and I don't like to fly my 5-inch without an extra camera. So
yeah.
And that's when I figured I'd give the Action 2 a shot on my 3.5 inch. So found out it's garbage.
Well, I guess let's dismount because we're coming over an hour. Try to keep it somewhat.
Yeah,
below
I got to
an hour.
get going to Madison anyway here soon.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for talking with us. Hopefully we can get some video. If you want to, anytime. I don't know if I sent you my address or anything like that, but I'll send you my address. If you got any flight video you want us to start posting, stop by or whatever.
Yeah, I'll be back on Sunday. If anything, I'll just drop you my SD cards from the weekend because I will have a ton of flight videos from this weekend.
See that, Rachel? You have videos to go through.
On Monday.
There you go.
So I don't know how you want to do, because like if you're gonna post my flight videos, like I still want to add a little bit in with my vlogs. So like I'll probably just drop them off with you, let you post the flight videos, and then I'll grab them back from you, and then I'll take little snippets out of it to put my vlog.
Yeah.
Or how do you want to do that?
Yeah, both of you guys, like, I just want to say right away, this is like for us to come together and post and share videos together. If you, Seth, start your own YouTube channel and you can keep like going with your YouTube channel, we'll try to promote it a little bit with the Blade Outlaw thing too, since we're almost at 1,000 subscribers. I was just looking at it, I think yesterday, and we were at like 960 or something like that. So we got the exposure, and we'll try to keep going like that. There's not any kind of contract or anything like that for our group. The only thing is just the right to share your video, and we'll give you, the credit. The reason why I was asking Seth for your name is because we're going to put your name on the video when it's you. Like if we do a flight, 968. subscribers. So like, you know, when we're flying together, we're gonna do a little bit of Seth's video and then my video and then yours,
Yep.
and so we'll keep kind of, you know, the exposure on you guys as well. So
Cool.
yeah.
Also, if you guys have Instagrams, let me know them.
I do.
Oh yeah.
I'll be doing Instagram stuff as well.
She's the
Okay.
social media expert. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm this close from getting rid of Facebook and just letting her control everything.
Well, my Instagram's the same. It's RoopertFPV. So
Cool.
Sounds good.
Seth,
Yeah.
you have homework of coming up with a name.
No.
Better to have an S in it or something like that. You gotta.
pilot name, and then
Yep.
when you're ready for your logo, man, like I said, I can hook you up with Matty Bunce. Will probably do it for you if you're interested. So he's an awesome
All right.
artist.
Yeah.
Unless if you guys got somebody you know.
Podcast again. Yeah. Yeah. Well, alrighty, guys. We'll dismount and end the stream here. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Yeah.
And
Thanks for having me, by the way, and
Yeah.
let
Yeah.
me go over my story.
yeah, hopefully you got to share it enough. But we
Yeah.
can always do this again. I mean, what are your guys' thoughts on doing like podcasts or like live streams like this once in a while? We don't have to do it all the time and everything, but I'm sure we could do it and talk about stuff. Seth had a really good idea about live streaming us freestyle flying in the simulator.
Yeah.
So
Sorry.
we can try it. We're gonna have to do some beta testing on it because I have a computer from the 1990s and it's probably gonna explode when we try to do it. But
I
we
offered.
can try. So
Can do this. I don't know. I mean, if you guys are busy, like once a month, maybe. Otherwise, I'd be down to even meet once a week. It's not hard to sit down for an hour and discuss, what do you got going on this week and
yeah,
your future plans, what happened earlier. I don't mind doing
videos that we
I kinda
did or
like
something.
those.
Yeah,
I'm all right
definitely.
with that.
That
Yeah,
just
me
may
too.
or may not be in them.
Yeah, let's see if
Oh, I wanted to add too, man. I would reach out to Twisted Skies in Green Bay. So
Okay.
he's another FPV pilot. He's the guy I went down to Castle Crash with. He just got on the Team Quad Mafia, but he might be interested in just coming out and flying with us too, being a local pilot. So,
yeah, dude. Like, if you have any hookups with local pilots and we're doing an event, invite anybody. You know, the more the merrier. As long as there's not drama, then I'm good. You know.
no drama with him, man.
No, and I figured, yeah, not with him in particular. I'm just saying anybody in general. You know, the drone community, they seem
Yeah.
to soak that stuff up more than schoolgirls. So I don't know.
Yeah. He's the guy who got me hooked up at that racetrack up in Door County. So
Nice. Yeah,
in that
yeah,
Hill This Way video that I posted.
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. But alrighty,
Well, cool guys. Have yourself a good weekend, and we'll talk soon.
you as well.
Thanks.
Thank
You
you.
Hey, send me your address so I can drop those off on Sunday.
We'll do, yeah. And remember, next weekend we have the shirts coming in, guys. So come on
Awesome.
to those. So
Awesome.
definitely.
Same time next Friday.
Sure, we can see.
Sure.
Yeah,
Cool.
I'm fine with that.